I've often wondered what life was like in America in the 1830s and 40s before the Civil War. My wife and I were just in Baton Rouge, Louisiana to visit the kids and grandkids, the Gautreaux family. And Travis and Abby, along with the grandkids, took us to Rosedown Plantation, which is just north of Baton Rouge, the capital of Louisiana. This house was built in 1835 by Daniel and Martha Turnbull. It took them 6 months to build it, and believe it or not, in those days, this big mansion only cost $13,109 to build. It consisted of 3,500 acres of farmland, and they farmed cotton and sugarcane there. And there were 250 enslaved people that lived on the property. Sadly, I can't imagine how horrible it was to be a slave, although I've been to the Dominican Republic and have seen people work in those sugarcane villages for starvation wages, so I can get some kind of idea. But these folks that owned this property lived like kings and queens, although I wouldn't trade my lifestyle today to go back and live in that era and even own a mansion like this, because there was no indoor plumbing. There was no heating. There was no air conditioning. Now, they built fireplaces and had heat in the winter, but there was nothing to keep the mosquitoes and the flies out. And often, family members caught malaria or yellow fever from mosquito bites and died. And the slaves had to go through this horrible adventure as well. So even though this is such a beautiful house, and 90% of the furniture that you see in this house belonged to the Turnbull family, life in the 1830s and 40s was very tough. They had beautiful gardens outside and a beautiful property. Most of the trees today are 250 to 300 years old. And this is our family walking down the stairway, a stairway that was built by a couple of enslaved people there that have no nails, and it's a beautiful piece of architecture. This is the back of the house, and you see the grounds. There are slave quarters here. There was an area for a doctor to treat people. This is an area where they cooked, and then on the other side they would do weaving and making clothing, and there was a lot of work to do here. And it was a hard life living in a place like this in the 1830s, 1840s. And I would encourage you to go see it. You'll see that there was outdoor plumbing. This was what I was accustomed to as I lived with my grandparents in Mississippi, even in the 1950s and 60s. Here you'll see a tunnel on the property. I don't know what the use was, but they also, again, had slave quarters and all kinds of different structures on the house, including an area to grow plants.
That's all, folks.